1054th day that I'm here to learn. I'm learning how to support your dreams, your goals, and how to become the person that you want to become. Today, I speak about self-healing and self-improvement. Self-healing and self-improvement. To be honest, I never knew what that self-healing means. I've been in self-improvement for 8 years straight, like really investing in my growth, in my skills, and in developing myself into becoming the best version of me. But I never find self-healing. For some reason, I watch so many different videos. I attend so many conferences, so many seminars, and I never connect with me that self-healing sometimes is much, much, much more important than self-improvement. Because now when I start to look into that, self-healing is a foundation. Self-healing is a foundation, and self-improvement is just building something meaningful on that foundation. If your foundation is cracked, it doesn't matter what you build on top of it, will sooner or later will fall. And I think that's really when in life something happens very, very hurtful, and then really something emotionally not when you're emotionally not okay. I learned that it's very, very hard to invest in yourself, develop the skill sets. And I think that sometimes we need to understand, okay, what kind of life season, what kind of life chapter do we go right now? Because sometimes self improvement is not the best choice. Sometimes self healing is the best choice and the best time. Because I think that we're not able to rush through self healing to self improvement. I think that if we rush too fast, we'll not get benefits neither for healing, neither from self improvement, because you're not healing and you're not improving. So being able to really go and ask, okay, what do I need right now? But I could tell you right away that's for me right now the most important part is self healing. Self healing. After losing my brother recently, that's really rocked my foundation. Rocked my foundation to the core when I start to ask a lot of questions. Who am I? What kind of support? What kind of safety net? Because my brother was my inspiration. He was my motivation. He was the person that I always was willing to really die for, that willing to push through things, willing to do the things that I'm afraid. And when he was my goal in a lot of different things, I wanted to travel with him. I wanted to really achieve wealth because I wanted to really support him in his own goals and his own aspirations. But all those dreams got scattered, and I will never achieve those goals anymore. And of course, those goals was external. I didn't have any control over it. But still, it still hurts that I will not be able to achieve the goals that I have set for myself, the things that I wanted to do, the things that I really dreamed of. And I really wanted to push those thoughts, push those ideas away. I wanted to really work on things that no, I still have other things going on. I really wanted to focus on that self improvement because I learned how to work on that. I know how to be consistent on self improvement. But the last couple of months, like when I look into my self improvement, even though that I'm able to allocate my time to it, it just doesn't land as well as it used to be in the past. It seems that I'm not able to really grow as fast, improve as fast. It seems that I don't have that capacity that I used to have. And I realized that now when I just invested a little bit more time understanding what's going on, that I was just missing on self improvement. I think it's very, very important to understand that self healing is the key that we always need to look into. I think that I was neglecting self healing all the time. And I think that I was always leaving some foundational things behind because I just never knew. Because I think that's a beautiful thing that a lot of times we're not able to achieve success not because we do not know. We know a lot, but sometimes we do not know what we do not know, and when we of course when we do not know what we do not know, we're not able to really make things happen. And that's why I think that this mentorship is so great because when you have a mentor, they could tell you the things that you never knew that's possible new. And I think that's today we'll really share on self-healing and self-improvement. Again, I want to emphasize that self-healing is totally new topic for me. Totally new topic. I know that I need to do that. And that's why I want you to speak about it. And you want to really, because that's how I reflect sometimes, really speaking about, really reflecting what's going on. Because self healing is essential. So, because now when I think about what are the main differences between self healing and self improvement, self healing is looking at what happened in the past and what I'm able to do to heal from it. What happened in the past and what I'm able to do right now, present moment, to heal. Because those wounds will not heal by themselves a lot of times. Time will not heal them a lot of times. And being able, okay, so what I'm able to do right now to heal. Now, looking into self improvement is totally different because they look into what is my vision of the future? What kind of person I want to become? And what kind of skills I need to build? And okay, what I'm able to do right now to build those skill sets, to build that vision. So you see how different they are? One is saying, looking, what I'm able to do right now. Present is a key. Present, you're always looking to what I'm able to do right now. But healing is looking at what happened in the past. What kind of wounds I have in the past? What kind of grief? What kind of losses I have in the past? And what kind of traumas I have in the past? What parts I don't like about myself? At what point I really start to adjust myself in the big ways that I don't like? And what kind of areas I need to heal? So that means what happened in the past and what I'm able to do right now to really heal. Well, like self improvement is so much different because you look into, okay, what kind of person I want to become, what kind of goals I have, what kind of dreams I have, and what I'm able to do right now to really move towards those dreams. Both of them are essential because if you're not healed, you're not able to improve as much. Because when you heal, you have a lot of self confidence, self belief, and that emotional control, emotional regulation. All those things will allow you to really self improve better. I think that's one of the biggest mistakes that I always used to say that I used to always say that. And there's a point that there's a big mistake. I always said it doesn't matter how big your fear is. What matters is how big your courage. I used to say that. What doesn't matter how big your fear is, what matters how big your courage. And what I learned just recently that it's it's uh it's very hard to live this way. Because what it means that you always need to build your courage. You always need to find that willpower to build your courage to another level to really do something that you are very, very fearful. But what happens when you really do not need to fear? What happens when you do not need to really build that courage to another level? And you need just a little bit of courage, just a little bit of willpower. And that's the thing that's what was happening. That I used to think that there's no self healing, just self improvement. So with self improvement, you're able to improve courage, and you're able to really go and do things that you're fearful because you build that courage. But it requires massive willpower to do that. And I used to do that, and it works. But I think it is much faster way. And much faster is with okay, why I'm fearful in the first place? Where is that massive fear is coming from? Maybe there's something that I could heal. And when I heal, what happens? When I heal, that fear lessens and lessens and lessens. And at some point, there's no fear anymore because I healed. Exactly the same with really public speaking a lot of times. Because we fear be rejected, be judged, be disappointment. We feel that we are fearful that because we will not have any friends. There's a lot of fear is in public speaking because there's a lot of trauma that we didn't heal with, didn't heal from. So now when you start that healing journey and you start healing and you build your self-confidence, self-worth, and you know what is your worth inside, inner world is right. It doesn't matter what externally happens. It doesn't matter what other people will think of you, what you say, how you say it, the way how you say it, the way how you look. Those things doesn't matter. So when those things doesn't matter, all the fear shrinks significantly. So all that willpower that you used to need to build your courage could be reallocated to so many different things. Now, when I look into that, that means that willpower could be working to develop actually the skill sets, developing yourself, improving yourself. That means that you're able to use that willpower that you needed to build that courage to overcome that fear. Now you're able to allocate so many different things. And when we say, okay, where am I able to allocate that willpower that will unleashed when I heal? I think that we will need to really think about it, because I think that is a big realization. I think that this is might be that even one of the best lessons of 2024 will be that we need to self healing sometimes, to invest much more in self healing and self improvement. A big lesson for me. And I think that it's sometimes we need to really reflect on that thought. Okay, how is that self healing and self improvement really show up in my life? Because I said that this is just a beginning, just as I scratch the surface of the self healing, but I'm starting to see the massive value of that. Because okay, let's look at you again. What are the main difference? Because self improvement is about gaining new skills, improving your physical and mental health, even emotional growth. Of course, be able to really understand how to have a communication, because I think that communication is a great thing. Skill sets like sales, public speaking, all those skills are very important. Self improvement is essential. There's no way to live a life just with self healing or just with self improvement. Yeah, as it's under, because one is coming from the past, one's coming from the future, and both of them meshes in the present. Both of them are meshes in the present, and of course, in the present, we're able to really make things happen. Now, I think that's in some seasons like now, when something really very bad happens, that means that we'll allocate 80%, 90% on self healing and 10% on self improvement. But now, when you heal from all those traumas, disappointments, failures, mistakes, griefs, losses, and you really feel great about yourself. At that moment, you're able to move like 80% self improvement, 90% self improvement, and a little bit of self healing, because I truly believe that it will be something to heal, always to get better. And, and then this is very important, really making sure that we working on that, because this mental health is very important. Those emotional wounds, that spiritual healing, understanding the purpose, I think is so powerful. So I think that that's when we really think about really how much energy do we need to have to really invest in self improvement and self healing. For self improvement, it might be that it will require a lot of energy, because we need to push, and do regarding the courage, maybe developing the skills you never had before. That means that you will suck at the beginning. And when you suck at the beginning, you need to really have a lot of mental strength to persevere, to really say that I will do until it will get great. That means it requires a lot of energy. But if I then look at your self healing, that doesn't require a lot of energy at all. Sometimes it's zero energy, because you just need to lay down and rest. Being able to be with yourself, with your thoughts, sometimes is the most difficult things to do, because I know that sometimes we want to numb ourselves. We want to numb ourselves with food. We want to numb ourselves with movies, with YouTube, with scrolling. There's so many things that we want to numb. But a lot of times I think that that's what we mistake is scrolling and just not doing anything with self healing and resting. But that is totally wrong. I think that the best way to self heal is being introspective and really looking into yourself and say, what's going on here? Being self aware, what kind of emotions you feel, and accepting them, and then going through them. Because movies, all those distractions, is just taking away from healing and prolonging that healing in much longer. So sometimes we potentially need 3 months of self healing, but because if you distract ourselves, it end up being for a year, and maybe even more, maybe in decades, because we do not allow ourselves to actually heal. I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty. I found a lot of times distracting myself from actually self healing, and of course, it's not healthy. So I hope that you reflect as well. Like I'm reflecting now, and I hope that you reflect as well. And I hope that maybe you will write in a comment. I would love to read your ideas and what do you feel about really self healing and self improvement. How much do you invest in self healing? How much do you invest in self improvement? Maybe there's other things that you invest your time in, just to make sure that you are able to get better. I think that that's besides the self healing, self improvement. Of course, one of the self that is very important is self awareness. Where are you right now? Because without self-awareness, it's very hard to really being able to invest your time in one thing or another. Because without knowing where you are right now, it's very, very hard to really invest your time presently to really improve yourself, heal yourself, and getting better. So I hope you choose to win, and see you tomorrow.